Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Armstrong, Executive Director here at the Saugatuck Center for the Arts, where we are still hibernating, but we're continuing our community conversation series where we get to talk to friends from the area and check in with them. I'm really looking forward this morning to talking with George Stoutin. A lot of you know George as a broker at our Edward Jones office here in town, but George has a very important nonprofit that he is one of the founders of that we're going to check in and talk with him about today and see how COVID is impacting that particular nonprofit. Well, George, good morning. It's great to see you. Hi there.
Good morning. Hi. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me to join you for the conversation this morning.
Oh, you're so welcome. And, I'm going to start first by saying, for people who don't know you, it's a pleasure for me because George is a long-time partner here at the Saugatuck Center for the Arts, engaged with Mason Street Warehouse with concerts and our performances. George has been a phenomenal partner through the years for us and really with us from the very start, which is exciting. So just big kisses and thanks for all you've done for us and for the community for years, George. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Let's roll into...
Well, it's hard to believe.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead. I was going to say, it's hard to believe Dave and I moved here 19 years ago to pursue my career with Edward Jones, and we got involved with the Mason Street Warehouse and then the SCA almost from the very beginning. And as you mentioned, so I was actually on the founding board with Kurt right from the beginning, and we're so proud of what you guys have done over all these years, broadening out with the year-round program and continuing to bring the professional theater right here to Western Michigan. So we're so fortunate to have this right in our own back door. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm just really pleased. I think some people know, but probably many friends don't, and this will be their good introduction. So in addition to obviously the important work you do with Edward Jones, you were one of the founders of a nonprofit in the area called Children First Lakeshore. And Children First Lakeshore is an organization that really performs a crucial function here in our community and region. And I'm going to turn it over to you and tell us a little bit about Children First Lakeshore so we can get the context. And then we'll pivot and talk about how COVID has hugely impacted what you're doing right now too.
Wonderful, and thank you. Yes, so as you mentioned, so Children First Lakeshore is very near and dear to my heart, and we started this organization back in 2017, Saugatuck Douglas-based nonprofit 501c3 organization, and our whole focus is dedicated to feeding children that have been impacted by hunger throughout Allegan County. And from the very beginning, we created a wonderful partnership with the folks at the Community Church of Douglas, and together we are providing a weekend backpack food program to children throughout Saugatuck and Fennville. Down the road, we hope to broaden out more throughout Allegan County, but right now we really are doing our best to serve those in the Saugatuck, Douglas, and Fennville area. And so prior to the pandemic, we were actually feeding approximately 275 students every week. And so again, it's a weekend backpack program, and we put together a bag of food that consists of a meal for an entire family, and then also some snacks, and more recently, we've been adding peanut butter, jelly, a loaf of bread, cereal, and a number of things, but really focusing on trying to increase the nutrition and volume. And so why don't I jump into the impacts of the pandemic? As we all know, those throughout Michigan, as well as the rest of the country, have really been hurt, and especially with school closures and business shutdowns and the increased unemployment, the reliance on programs such as this has really, really been increased and heightened. And so what we did here in the community is back in early March, we got together a number of business leaders, and we focused on trying to identify how do we really ramp up to support the needs. And what we all did collectively is we decided to use the infrastructure that we had created for Children First Lakeshore to really increase the ability to serve more. And starting with the voices of the administration from both Saugatuck and Fennville, they said from the very beginning, one of their main priorities was continuing to provide food and nutrition. And so the school systems have been absolutely amazing, and they've continued providing breakfast and lunch 5 days a week to the students, and they deliver it directly to their homes using the school bus route system. And then we've been so fortunate that we were able to leverage this to continue to deliver our weekend backpack meal program directly to the children's homes. And so it's really worked out well. And just to really identify the scope of it, we've ramped up. Last week, we delivered over 700 weekend backpack meals to the children and the families. And so again, everybody involved has just been amazing. But as you can imagine, we do have a couple challenges. We have two primary challenges. One is financial sustainability, and the second is ensuring that we continue to have access to the food we need to continue this vital program. And so I'd like to say thank you to all of those very, very generous people in the community who have already donated, helping us. In the last 6 weeks, we have raised over $80,000, so we're really pleased. But the need is much greater, and we really need more support. If anybody is interested and able, we would really appreciate anything you could do. And all you have to do is go onto our website, which is Feeding the Gap, or you can go directly to our website, childrenfirstlakeshore.com/Feeding the Gap. There's two things you can do on that screen. You can volunteer to help pack the food, and you can also donate money directly to the cause. And so it's actually been an amazing experience watching all of those volunteer helping us pack this food. It's really been good to see all these people come together. And it's so wonderful that we are making a difference. But again, the school administration has helped us identify that we have upwards to 1,200 students that we could potentially be feeding. And we've seen the numbers going up slowly every week. And with the increased unemployment, I'm sure that we're going to see those numbers continue to ramp up. And so again, financial support would be greatly appreciated.
So you mentioned volunteering too. So, which I'm writing this down. I'll remind folks at the end of our conversation too. And by the way, everyone, we will put the link, the Lakeshore, Children First Lakeshore, we'll have their link on this social post so that you can find it easily too. So it sounds though like you've created a safe process for coming together to volunteer to pack backpacks. Because I'm sure some people might think, oh, I'd love to do this, but gosh, I don't know. Am I going to get exposed? Am I going to expose other people?
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
So yes, thank you for asking. Very, very important. The folks at the Community Church of Douglas have been absolutely amazing. They've taken steps to ensure we have all the safety protocols put in place. And what we've done is prior to the pandemic, we would pack food once a week for the entire week. And we had a number of volunteers in there working hard, getting all the work done. And what we immediately did is we started packing on multiple days and even multiple shifts on those days. And so we have much smaller groups of people coming together. And it's an amazing outfit right now. If you were to go over to the Community Church of Douglas, you go in through this side entrance in the lobby. It's filled with pallets full of food, and the entire gymnasium has been turned into this food pack organization. And they've got long lines of tables and rows. And so really we're doing everything we can for the distancing. And we have somebody at the entrance checking people in, taking their temperature, making sure that they have gloves and masks. And so we're really trying to do everything we can to keep our volunteers safe.
Awesome. I want to say that number again, though. I think that people are probably really surprised to hear 1,200 children, because we often think of our area as being relatively well off, which I'm sure relative to maybe other communities, we still are. And yet 1,200 children, it's sort of gobsmacking.
Right. So yeah, from the very beginning, we created this program based on need, and it was really need for those children qualifying for free and reduced meals. And we started piloting the program back in the spring of 2018 with the Douglas Elementary School with only 30 students. Douglas and Saugatuck, they have approximately 34% of the students that qualify for free and reduced meals. And Fennville has just a huge number of 76% of the students that qualify for free and reduced. And so together, we really are helping a lot. And it is amazing that the people that are coming together to help with this initiative.
Well, thanks for sharing, because there is a need, and I think that what I love is you've given us some really easy ways for people who are able and willing to get out. There could be volunteer opportunities for all of us. There's the opportunity if we're able to do some giving, and I'm sure you would say any amount buys peanut butter, buys food, like $5.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. $5, $5,000. Yeah, anything people are interested in.
Add zeros
Yeah,
if you can. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I give a shout out to all of those amazing people that are involved in helping make this program come together.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have an amazing board with the Children First organization. It is an all-volunteer board, and it's Tim Lemansky, Abby Bigford, Joe Balodgett, Glenn McNeil, Martia Metcalf, and Sharon Shanahan, and amazing folks at the Community Church of Douglas. We have, starting with Pastor Brandon Beebe, Mike Morey, and Lois Tuttle. They're coordinating every day all of our volunteers. They're helping coordinate the packing. And then together, a number of people help with the deliveries at the end of every week. So we have amazing people. And then also, it's just been really a fantastic experience working with the administration at both the Saugatuck school system as well as the Fennville school system. And so it's really, it takes a lot of people to make this all come together. And it's just amazing to watch it. And I'd also like to give a shout out to one of your guests last week, Garnett Lewis. She has been she's been helping volunteer several times. And so it's been a pleasure seeing her over there getting involved with this as well.
Oh, cool. Well, this is, as you and I both know, this is an extraordinary community. And I'm glad for you to be able to put the request out there, because usually people just say, what do you need me to do? So I'm glad, George, that you can say, here's what we need you to do. Good.
Can I add one more detail to it? It is, we talked about the challenges, the financial challenge. We have run a number of different scenarios. And as you can imagine, with two variables that are unknowns, that's the number of students we'll be serving, and then also the duration of this crisis. When we met as a group back in early March, we had planned for 6 weeks. And we're already into 6 weeks, and we don't know when this will let up, with the unemployment and everything else. And so we did set a financial goal of $180,000, but it could also range up to upwards to $240,000. And right now we're at $80,000. So really the challenge is out there for anybody who's interested and able to help us.
Awesome. And I know that it's pretty easy for people to look you up, to find you. I mean, really, literally, you can Google George Stoutin, Edward Jones, Saugatuck, and information will come up for people to find you too, to speak directly with you. Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, we would look forward to that.
Let's pivot just for a second, because I probably should say to you, and how is this all impacted, I would say, your other full-time job, right, at Edward Jones? Right. What has this whole kind of topsy-turvy COVID world meant for you in your role as financial advisor?
Well, thanks for asking. Yeah, if I could just start by saying it's been such a pleasure to be part of this community for the last 19 years, and I've had the opportunity to help many families work towards their financial goals. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have placed your trust and confidence with Edward Jones and myself over these years. And so during the COVID-19 environment, we have continued to come to the branch to work every day, along with my branch team, which is Barb, Sandy, and Julie. We're there every day to serve the needs of our clients. But as you can imagine, it is different. So we suspended access to the public very early on. And so now we're really working with many ways. We still stay connected every day with our clients via the telephone, the fax, the email, web conferencing, and we've got great digital service allowing our clients to have access to all of their financial information. But it's a very different environment. We're really focusing on the most important needs first. And so we are there every day. But it is interesting driving through town. I've never seen it so quiet, so dead. And so I know everybody's facing different challenges on a daily basis.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, and you're seeing it not only with your clients at Edward Jones, but I'm sure in a whole other way too, on the front lines with the families and kids that you're working with in Children First Lakeshore.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you. I so appreciate this, George. So glad that you were able to really share more about Children First Lakeshore. It's a huge need, and I think the thing I want everybody to remember is, as you said, you are with one of the nonprofits that is actually ramping up during this time. And as
Right.
there was a plan for 6 weeks, well, now we're realizing this could be 6 months. This could be, this impact can ripple out. So for all of us to think about doing what we can. And again, we'll make sure we've got the link in this post so that people can easily find it, read more about it. You've got a gorgeous website. I'll just say, you guys, Children First Lakeshore just got themselves a really cool big trailer because they have to haul all this food and the supplies back and forth. And the trailer is wrapped with this gorgeous picture of beautiful children. It's kind of a bright spring green logo. So if you see that going through town, you think, no, there aren't children in the trailer. There's food for the children in the trailer. It's a really good piece, and you'll recognize that. And I would just encourage everybody, jump on the website, get yourself educated, and think about what you might do. Or I would say probably families need to let people know if they also need assistance. That's why Children First Lakeshore is out there to help and to serve.
Yeah. And my apology, there's a third thing that you can actually do on our website, Feeding the Gap. If anybody's interested in participating and receiving the food, we have a link on there that they can sign up for that as well. And that goes directly to the school systems. So there's complete confidentiality with that. But so if anybody's interested in and needs this assistance temporarily, we would really want you to go on, pass that around, let people know they can sign up to participate in the weekend backpack program.
Fabulous. Thank you. Well, George, thank you for your time this morning. So good to connect with you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I was just going to say, we'll see you soon. Hopefully we'll see you soon. So
we will. Yes.
Love to you and Dave.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
Oh, so good to talk to George today about his work with Children First Lakeshore and also his work with Edward Jones. A lot of it is important to the community in different ways. The link is here for you guys so you can take a look at Children First Lakeshore and see, as George said, you can volunteer. If you are a family in need, please let the school system know. And so there's a link on his website also to let people know about that. And of course, if you can give. And I know everyone's situation is different at this time, but as George said, even $5 goes a long way toward buying peanut butter and the important food that they're sending home for 1,200 kids in this region every week. So thanks for listening. We've got a lot more community conversations coming up, and bye-bye. Have a great day, everyone.